Far beyond the frozen fjords and the northern kingdoms of men, the old Viking sagas speak of a place no living warrior should ever see, a land beneath the roots of the world, a realm of endless darkness. It is called Helheim according to Norse legend. Helheim is the realm of the dead, a cold and silent kingdom where the souls of those who did not die in glorious battle are sent after death. Warriors chosen by Valkyries are carried to Valhalla, but the rest of the fallen walk the frozen paths of Helheim. The ancient sagas warn that Helheim is not simply a land of wandering spirits, it is a prison, and every prison has a gate. For centuries, the gate to Helheim remained hidden beneath the northern mountains, sealed by ancient runes carved long before the Viking clans ruled the seas. But the old stories also speak of a being that stands watch before the gate, a creature older than kingdoms, a warrior forged from death itself. The sagas call it the Guardian of Helheim. Many believed the creature was only a myth, until the northern graves began opening. Across the frozen settlements, villagers discovered their burial grounds disturbed. Graves cracked open during the night, and strange footprints appeared in the snow around ancient burial mounds. Not human footprints, not animal, something far heavier. Something that dragged chains across the frozen earth. In the mountain village of Frostgard, a warrior named Eirik Skullbreaker listened carefully to the frightened villagers. Eirik had spent most of his life hunting creatures that wandered from the deep wilderness into human lands. He had fought frost beasts in glacier caves, and once survived a battle with a creature that rose from a frozen lake. But this story was different. Graves opening from the inside meant only one thing. Something from the land of the dead was walking the world of the living. One night the northern sky turned dark with heavy storm clouds. Snow fell across the mountains as the villagers of Frostgard locked their gates and waited for the storm to pass. But the storm was not natural. The wind carried whispers, cold voices that echoed through the valley like distant screams. Eirik stood on the wooden walls surrounding the village, watching the snow-covered graveyard below. Then he heard it, chains, dragging slowly across the frozen ground. The snow began moving. A massive shape rose from the graveyard, breaking through the frozen earth like something clawing its way back into the world. At first the villagers thought it was a giant, but giants do not wear armor forged from ancient iron. The creature stepped fully into the moonlight. It was enormous, nearly 3 times the height of a man. Its body was wrapped in black armor, carved with runes, older than any Viking kingdom. Thick chains hung from its arms and shoulders, dragging across the snow with every step. Its helmet was shaped like the skull of some ancient beast. Inside the hollow eye sockets burned a green fire. The Guardian of Helheim had arrived. The massive creature walked slowly toward the gates of Frostgard. Each step caused the frozen ground to tremble. Eirik climbed down from the wall. If the creature reached the village, no one would survive. He grabbed his runic axe and stepped through the gate alone. The Guardian stopped. Its burning green eyes turned toward the warrior. For a moment the storm itself seemed to pause. Then the creature spoke. Its voice sounded like the echo of thousands of dead souls. "You stand before the gate of death." Eirik lifted his axe. "I've stood before worse." The Guardian raised its massive weapon, a giant blade formed from dark metal that looked almost alive. The creature attacked. The sword struck the ground with such force that the frozen earth exploded beneath Eirik's feet. The warrior rolled aside just before the massive blade shattered the snow where he had been standing. Eirik ran forward. The Guardian swung its chained arm toward him. The chain smashed into the ground like iron whips, sending ice and stone flying through the air. Eirik leapt between the chains and drove his axe into the creature's armor. The runes on his weapon flared with bright blue light, but the Guardian barely moved. The creature turned and struck Eirik with the back of its arm. The impact threw him across the frozen ground. Eirik struggled to stand. The Guardian walked toward him slowly. "You cannot defeat death," the creature said. But Eirik noticed something. Across the Guardian's chest, beneath the heavy armor, a single rune glowed brighter than the others. A binding rune. The creature was not alive, it was controlled. Eirik waited as the Guardian raised its blade again. Then he ran forward. As the sword descended toward him, Eirik slid beneath the strike and drove his axe directly into the glowing rune across the creature's chest. The rune shattered instantly. Green fire erupted from the Guardian's armor. The creature roared. The chains around its body snapped apart as the ancient magic binding it to the gate of Helheim collapsed. The Guardian staggered backward across the graveyard. For a moment the enormous figure stood frozen in place. Then the green fire inside its helmet faded. The armor collapsed. The massive body fell apart into empty iron and broken chains. Silence returned to Frostgard. The storm slowly faded from the sky. Eirik stood alone among the scattered armored pieces. The Guardian had fallen, but far beneath the mountains, deep below the frozen earth, the gates of Helheim were still there, and something else had begun to move behind them.